the election was stolen in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, in November of 2020, sir?
Irrefutably proved massive election fraud and the fraudulent certification of 327,000 votes in Delaware County, PA. We can prove that 120,000 fake mail-in ballots were run through the system and ingested into the vote. We can prove that 50 to 70,000 unopened real mail-in ballots were in sequestered back rooms in a locked storage room that we had to fight our way in, and we saw. They used 47 quote-unquote missing V drives to use 50,000 votes that they needed to change the outcome of the election. They falsely certified Delaware County the vote just moments before the state certification. And President Trump was still ahead at that point, and they delivered the 80,000 votes almost by themselves to get Biden in, and Shapiro as well, Pennsylvania Attorney General. So the question here is not whether 81 million people voted for Biden, it's that 81 million votes were cast for Biden, and we can prove that that's not the case. The corporate bodies of the DNC and the corporate bodies of the GOP, and it's not all of the GOP, it's specific elements and corporate bodies of the GOP. They don't necessarily represent Republicans. They don't necessarily represent Democrats. They represent themselves. And this is a problem for all citizens, whether they're Democrat or Republican. So what we call them in the book is the uniparty. We identify them by name, who they are, their origins, and so forth. And what we focus most on the book is the evidence. And you asked about the evidence. So there's 4 bullet points for the mail-in ballots that we can prove. The first is we have affidavits from multiple witnesses. Myself, Leah Hoops, Joe Driscoll, other people that are named in the book, and the lawsuits that we pressed, we have affidavits that swore to these. They are also included in the Texas versus Pennsylvania by Attorney General Paxton. They were included dismissed from the Supreme Court. So first thing is we saw it firsthand, ground level approach. The second thing we have that's huge is the admission by the defendant's own attorneys that there were thousands of unopened mail-in ballots in sequestered back offices in the locked room. They admit to it in one of their responses because they inadvertently included photos in a response. In their rush to show that they had complied with the judge's order setting up pens, they inadvertently and stupidly included boxes and boxes and boxes of unopened ballots in the pictures that were taken after the election. And they admit to this in their filing, but they said, well, it's inadmissible because we shouldn't allow back there. The biggest thing is nothing reconciles, and this is something they find in the whole country. What we did is when we went back to the return sheets and we looked at the paper tapes for the machines and all of the pieces of election materials that have to be put together to certify a vote, nothing matches. And it doesn't match by tens of thousands of votes. 220 counties, 220 precincts of 428 in Delaware County can't be reconciled at all. They're a mess. So, you know, they were saying that they did these risk limiting audits. They only missed 1 or 2. That all they were doing there was recounting ballots. That's just a machine function. That's not an actual audit.
You're right. I want to make sure we get this in the time frame. How then, if that's all fact, who actually certified this and who signed? Because the whole thing, this is what the president pro tem of your Commonwealth Senate sent to McConnell. They needed the Biden electors not certified to come back to the state legislature because they had issues with certification. Who in Delaware County's signature is on the certification? Who certified that election by name? Who signed it?
The Board of Elections chair, Darrell Lawrence, who was he was a Biden elector. So not only was the chairman of the Board of Elections, but he was also a Biden elector, and he's a liar and corrupt, and we can prove it. And he's since resigned. He signed it. And then 2 other people signed it. Paul Byrne, who was the Republican, the sole Republican on the board, and Ashley Luckenheimer. And she is
a Republican did sign the certification.
Reluctantly. I talked to him the night before. He really fought. I think he fought pretty hard during the hearings. for the certification, brought up all the missing B drives, the emails, the ballots, the evidence that we had. He brought them up, and Lawrence, this is where he just lied continuously and just brushed it aside.